Oh, I'm live. At what? 7:19 a.m. Mm-hmm. Why is my camera acting crazy? I don't know. Maybe because it's 7:19 in the morning? What am I doing up so early? This is what time I get up now. As I'm preparing to go bike riding. The camera's acting funny. All right, first things first. It's a chilly morning. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 54 degrees Fahrenheit.
Woo-hoo.
Today, expect a high of 73 degrees.
Not too bad. It's chilly right now. I'm not going bike riding yet. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I could go now. 54 degrees though. Add wind chill. I feel like 45. So I'm not there yet. Not yet. That's what happens when you go to bed early. I like it. Oh, you wait a minute. What are you guys doing up so early? I'm expecting nobody to be here, and Dagger and Genghis are already awake. Are you too out of control? And plus, what are you, Central Time? Come on. This is too early for you guys. Genghis, I didn't get to watch a movie. I did get my munchies. I don't even remember what I did. Oh, I started watching the original Superman movie. I don't know why. I was lazy. Which is kind of sad to see it with Christopher Reeve, you know? I was watching the uncut version and it was pretty good. I don't remember the movie. I haven't seen it in years. It's still sad to know. I'm going biking soon. As you could see, I'm dressed. I don't know, my camera's acting stupid. Oh, you're getting ready for work. Oh, both of you are up early for work. I work night, so it's a little different for me. Usually. Now, there are two models, and they don't know what the heck is going on. First of all, I gotta kill some windows. I don't know why it's dragging the camera. Why is the computer at 60? What is going on in the background? Must be Windows. My computer's never that high in the RAM or the CPU. Something's going on. Oh, we need to check. Oh, I'm downloading. No. Am I? No. What the hell is going on? Oh, yeah. It's Premiere Pro. I forgot about it. This thing is a killer. Adobe Premiere Pro. Oof. But there's still something running in the background. What the heck is going on? I'm gonna look. All right, we have to check Task Manager. Something's going on. Why Why does it say Streamlabs desktop? 5 of them. I'm going to kill this for a second. Firefox 14. What the heck? Now it's dropping. Everything else is fine. All right, now it's dropping. That was weird. I knew when I saw the camera moving funny, I said something's running in the background. I can tell. So I'm gonna do something today radical. Bob, what the hell are you doing up in Vancouver? It's 3 hours early. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30. What are you doing awake? Go back to sleep. Today I'm going to try something on the bike where I'm not even going to drive. I'm going in my car. I'm going to go from the driveway and I'm going on a mission over the bridge by me. Now, somebody told me Truth and Recognition Day. Somebody told me that it is scary to ride the bike over the Beacon Bridge. Oh my God. Yo, don't even talk about beer. I haven't had a beer since July 3rd. It's October 1st now. I have not had, and the day I had the beer, I had one. July 3rd for 4th of July celebrations in the town. Watching the fireworks. I had one beer. Because I was with Mom, and Mom said, "You're not drinking and driving." I drank the beer like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're staying there till 11 o'clock at night. She's telling me, "Don't drink and drive." I had one beer at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But that was the last time I had a beer. So today, see, I'm up and ready. You could see, showered, ready to go. I've been up since 6. Today, I'm going right from my driveway through my neighborhood to the bridge. I'm going to go over the bridge. I'm going to GoPro it. I'm going to go live. Probably on Facebook. And from there, depending how I feel, I may go to the waterfront on the other side of the Hudson, which is 5 miles from over the bridge. So I'm looking at maybe a 35-mile ride. Yesterday was a national holiday in Canada for First Nations people. Oh, okay. What's our next holiday? Oh, Columbus Day. A week from Monday. Or is it even Columbus Day? I don't even know anymore. I think it's now called Indigenous Peoples Day. I think. I don't even know if it's called Columbus Day anymore. I think it's Indigenous Peoples Day. I'm losing track. They keep changing the names. Hey, I'm part Native American, and I can prove that, by the way. I'm not like some politician that claims I'm not going there. It's too early for that. It's too early for that. Oh my gosh. That person needs a Truth and Recognition Day, huh? But I still have my DNA test that I have to resubmit. It's been under there for like a year. I paid for it, so at some point I've got to send it in. But the last I checked, it said I was 17% Native American. But there is some new information that came in from Puerto Rico for me that will add and make that number go up for the Taino Indian, because that's my ancestry, the Taino Indian. Do you know I have documents Now, Ancestry was charging me an arm and a leg. So I cut the plan down. But I have documents, I don't know if I could pull it up, from 1410 with my family. 1410, going back to Spain. Because both of my mother's parents, descendants, are from Spain originally. See, Puerto Rico's a complicated thing. When people say Puerto Rico, they think Puerto Ricans, right? But what consists of the populace, the people that are there? Well, that's actually four. One is the Spaniards, because they're the ones that visited the island. Two is the Taino Indians, which were native. Three were the slaves that were brought there by the Spaniards. And four, there is a lot of European presence going back in time, not just Spaniard, but European presence in Puerto Rico. Because remember, what is Puerto Rico? A rich port in Spanish. It was the Spaniards' territory until it became a U.S. territory. So there's a lot of history with Puerto Rico. So for me, obviously, when the Spaniards got to Puerto Rico, they made it, I'll just say it like that, with the natives. So there's a mix of the bloodline with Native American Indian from Puerto Rico with the Spaniards. So that's my makeup. And I wish I could bring it up. I don't think I can, because I think I cut the plan. You have to see who my ancestors are. It's freaky when you look this up. It took me a long time, months of digging. Now, I don't know if I still have access to it. My distant relative is Ponce de Leon. It's crazy. And I have the evidence. He's like my ninth or 11th something. Uncle, grandfather, some shit. I'm like, what? Ponce de Leon? So you'd be surprised. Like, I have ancestors that was on Columbus's ships. I have ancestors that were part of the conquistadors and captains of the Spanish army. That's bizarre. Oh, skip that. Why am I taking a survey? How much would you recommend it? 5, because you charge too much. Please tell me if you're getting 5. I'll tell you why. The cost for premium is too pricey. I ain't gonna lie. That's exactly why. It's too much. They charge too much money. What happened now? I clipped. That's funny, Bob. We ate smoked salmon and ham. That sounds good. I mean, the salmon for my diet sounds good. The ham is not too bad. Okay, let's see if I have access to my tree. Oh shit, I still have access to my tree. My tree is humongous. Why isn't it showing my entire tree? I haven't used this in so long, I forgot how to use it. Gallery, find in tree viewing options, tree overview. Oh my God. Oh, right here. Here's one. Birth 1595 in Coamo, Puerto Rico. She is my 8th great grandmother. And she was married to a Ponce de Leon. So that would make him my 8th great grandfather? This is for real. This is not a joke. It's right there. She is my 8th great grandmother. Catalina Echevarri Espinosa y Ponce de Leon. So isn't that something? That's just one example. She was born in 1595. So I go back with my documents to 1410. This took me a long time to find all this information. I'm telling you, I worked on this for a long time. But it's all Spaniard. That's how I know I'm really Spaniard. But there's other twists in the family too, marrying into English royalty from Spain. It's insane to make that connection between England and Spain. There's really some wild stuff. I'm trying to find my whole tree, but it's not easy. It really is view tree. Why is it only showing? Oh, because I got to open them up. That's why. Oh my God, this is crazy to open it all up. That's the problem, is opening the trees. And I don't know why it's not opening them all the way. Something is not right. It's like a lot of information is now missing. What happened here? Yeah, it looks like a lot of shit disappeared. You know what? They're getting slick because like I said, I'm not paying. They're not showing me. That's some BS. People, 360, it's still here. Okay. Wow, they're all here, but they're not listing in the tree. It's kind of a weird thing. There's 18 pages worth of people. 18 pages. That's pretty crazy. And it's going by date. 1827. 1688. Here's one. 1675. My seventh great grand uncle. I was telling you. Here's one other example. My seventh great grand uncle, born in 1675. Captain of the Spanish Army. And I'm telling you, some of these go way back. Like I said, it took me a long 1606, 1585. Who is this one? Another great grand uncle, born in 1585. That is crazy. I'm seeing which is the oldest one I have. 1624. Remember, when did Spain? 1492, but really, it could have been after that, 1493 or 4. See, some of them go way back. It just says Spain. 1606, 1575, 1460. There's one. Let's check this one out. 1460. A governor. My 11th great grandfather from Spain. And he died in Puerto Rico. Because when Spain got there, a lot of people from Spain started to go to Puerto Rico after Columbus, that whole deal. So this person was the governor in Spain, and then eventually he went to Puerto Rico and died there. He was born in 1460 and died 1535. One thing about the Spanish, they kept a lot of records. That's where it was helpful. How the Spanish kept records of everything. They documented everything. So this is my 11th great? My 11th great grandfather was the governor in Spain, gobernador de this area. From Spain, España. And he died in San Juan in Puerto Rico. Ain't that something? My 11th great grandfather. It is cool tracing that far back. But look how far back I went. 1460, before Columbus. That's impressive. I put a lot of months into looking up and it's not easy. Because you could hit a dead trail if there's no documentation, you're stuck. Remember, before the Europeans, you had the Vikings, possibly even the Chinese here. Who knows if there was some Phoenician activity here? Because they find cuneiform. Now, was there a land bridge to the Americas and it got here? But the artifacts that have been found here leading back to Egypt. I mean, you think, who was here first? The Native Americans, obviously, but there were other cultures, it seems, the evidence is showing that were here too. And obviously the Spaniards. That's why do you think in Latin America. Why is it even called Latin America? The Spaniards brought the language to South America. The Spaniards were here before anybody, really, as far as a brutal occupying force. And I'm going to tell you, there are things I looked up. I am not proud of what Ponce de Leon did, my ancestor, to the Native Americans in Puerto Rico. Not proud at all. He was brutal. He slaughtered them. I did some research on that. It's not something I'm necessarily proud of one of my ancestors being part of. And another thing too is, the Spanish were, they were cruel. Not all of them, I'm saying, but in general, they were ruthless. But that's what a force does, right? I guess when it's conquer, destroy, take it over, do whatever it takes, kind of a deal. But I have a lot of relatives that captain of the Spanish army. One of them was on Columbus's ships, a conquistador. Remember, for people that don't know the history, the Spanish is the one that paid for that trip. Nina Pinta Santa Maria, those ships. But the brutality of the Spaniards when they arrived here, and I don't know if Columbus had any role in actually, he's just, seafarer. He's just the captain. Did he command them to do the things that they did? What is the real evidence of what actually happened? So, anyway, that's what my ancestor lineage looks like. Sometimes when you dig, you may not like what you find. Just saying. I couldn't believe when I saw Ponce de Leon in there that what was it? 11. I remember my great grandmother, 9th or 11th, married him, or his ancestor, his son or something. He was ruthless. He was brutal. Look up Ponce de Leon. Look what he did. Look what he did to the Native Americans. I'm telling you, it's not good. Let me look that up. What was her name? Oh, shit, it's not going to come up. I have 380 people on my Ponce de Leon. Oh, shit, no results found. I don't know if it's going to come up like that. The search is going to be a pain. I have to go through the whole list. It's not easy. 380 people. I have photos, I have documents, records. I have 197 records. 22 photos. I have documents from Spain. Like I said, I put a lot of work into this. And, you find family members, and it's like, wow. All right, hold on. 20 per page, 100 per page. That's a lot easier. It's starting with A. Looking at this list is sick. I want to go back to Ponce. Okay, there's only 4 pages. It even has me, where I was born, Manhattan, New York City. Where I currently live, it has it. It's updated. This thing is sick. Look at this one. Born from Spain, 1515. Another one, 1515. Here it is. The Ponce de Leon. Juan de Sandoval. Birth of daughter, birth of son, death of father. This gets complicated. Y Ponce de Leon. So she's the one that's connected to Ponce de Leon. She's the one. She's the link. She's my 8th great grandmother. And she was born in 1595. So she's a descendant of Ponce de Leon. So somehow through marriage or something, she's part of it. But it is not easy to look this stuff up. I'm telling you, it is a pain. And it's a lot of digging. There's a lot of hints. But I think I got to pay for this again. See, some of them, the hints may not be associated. That's when you got to filter stuff out. Show more in family. It's crazy. See, that's not connected. See this? This is not it. They don't match. This is the one. So there's some new connections here. See, the Spaniards kept records of birth, date, death, everything. They were very thorough. They were very thorough. But that's an example. I'm just seeing who else is in here. Because some of them say captain of the army, the Spanish army. But I have a lot of people here. 1490. Who the hell is that? I want to see. 12th great grandfather from Spain. Born 1490. He died in Puerto Rico. He was born in Spain, my 12th great grandfather. It's insane. It's kind of fun when you're doing this, though. I have to say, it is when you do it like this. A lot of people give up. 1502. All Spain. She's my 11th great grandmother. She was born in Spain and she died in Spain. So it is bugged out. $1460. I'm looking at the list. Who was 1460? Just think how long ago that is. 1460. I lost lost it. Where's 1460? Right here. Spain. Died in Puerto Rico. My 11th great-grandfather. Born 1460 in Castilla-La Mancha, Spain. Died in Coamo, Puerto Rico. So yeah, this is crazy stuff. And there's royalty in my family. Spanish royalty. They have the crest and everything. Like, look at my 10th great-grandfather's crest. That's an actual crest that you're gonna see of royalty, right there. Yeah, Pete Rose passed away. I saw that. So did the basketball player Mutombo. Young, 58. But see, this is the crest. That's the Spanish crest. And there's a few of those. So, like I said, my family has a lot in Spain, Puerto Rico. A lot. I mean, a lot. Remember, I have 380 people on my list. That's a lot. But I think that's the oldest one. 1460. Yeah, I think that's the oldest one. That's like 600 years ago. That's cray-cray. Just think about that. Going back to your family history, 600 years. Or 550. It's outrageous. I'm just checking to see if I have an older one. Because they've got they got the years listed. 1840. It's my mother's last name, maiden name. Aunt of spouse of great-grandfather. Aunt of spouse of great-grandfather. 1840, that's not too long ago. I don't even know what the hell that one is. 1840. That's weird. Aunt of spouse. The hell is that? They connect like all kinds of stuff. All right, let's see if we get something old. The 1460 looks like it's the oldest. Oh, there's another 1460. That was the governor. Yeah, he was the governor. All right, so the governor was born in 1460. I have a lot of 1500s, but I'm trying to look for the oldest one. Oh, 1600s. Okay, nothing on that page. A lot of 1500s. 1502. 1515. $1460s again. 1460. Who the hell is this? Husband of 11th great grandmother. Husband of 11th great grandmother. Why is it listed like that? Husband of 11th great grandmother. That's weird. 1490. Who the hell is this? Husband of 11th great grandmother. Same shit. Another one. There's a lot of them. 1430. We have a 1430. 12th great grandmother. Wow. 1430. That's the oldest one. This is my, what? 12th great grandmother from Spain. Right there. Leonor Martel. 1430, born in Spain. Died 1528. Well, she was almost 100 years old. In San Juan, Puerto Rico. That's crazy. 1430, my 12th great grandmother. That's the furthest I can go back, for sure. Now, trying to find, like, the records for, like, the tree, like, her parents, like, does it even have it? You see, there's nothing. That's how you do it. Add father, add mother. It's hard to get that to go further if there's no information. See, you have to search it, you have to know. So, marriage. In Spain, this person, my 12th great grandfather, but there's no list of the parents. See, he was married to her. Death of daughter. They married in Spain. See, this is how you track it. This is how you do it. But there's no information like son of, daughter of. It's hard to go further if this is the dead end right here. The records. I mean, it's 1430, but still, this is where you hit the block. But that's her. See, they have the husband. My 12th great grandfather. So it's crazy. It is crazy when you do this. And like I said, I worked on that shit for months. I know, right, Genghis? It is crazy when you, just going back, do you know where you can get a lot of information, like from the last 100 years? The census. A lot of the information I used was census records. My grandfather, mom's father, owned a big farm in Puerto Rico. My grandfather rode a white horse, and he had Colt 45 guns. And he ran the farm. He owned the farm in Puerto Rico. My mom's father. He was old. He was an older man when he had my mother. He was up there. The horny person that he was at his age. But, yeah. And in Puerto Rico, they had the Spanish. Kept records of what he had to pay for the goods from the farm. There's records of all that agriculture. So I was able to, go through that. I found that. I got a lot of documents. You have to dig. It's like being a detective. You have to dig. And you got to know what to look for. So even things like that. See, I can't access, it won't let me access the records because I have to up the plan. I could do the people and photos, but I can't do the plan. I mean, there's a lot of crests in the Spanish. I have a lot of crests. Coat of arms. Here's one crest. I have all the photos. Here's a family crest. One of them. There's a lot from Spain. That's an actual crest of my family, my ancestors. It's crazy. There's a bunch. I showed that one. And they have their names, and then they have the crest. See, like, this is what the Spaniards, it would look like. The way they kept the records, like that. Then you gotta zoom in, look at the name. It's crazy how the research that it takes to do this. But I did it. I mean, it's crazy. Wow, I'm looking at some of the images. Look at this. Just look how old this is. That's how the Spaniards did it. I mean, look how old this looks. I'm telling you, I worked for months on this. What year is this? Oh my God, I don't even know. This is crazy. I mean, this is the Spaniards. This is the way it's done. And finding all these documents, you don't even know what I went through. Marriage, death, certificates. But I document, you know me. When I do some research, I go all in. And I have so many. So many. This was not easy. That's why I cannot close my account. If I close my account, I lose all access to everything. All the work that I did, I'll lose it all. Unless I screenshot everything. Like, here's another crest. This goes back. This is all from my family. Spain. And you can't really see it, but that's part of his crest too. I think we can make it bigger. Yeah. See, that's a family crest. They were all like captains of the army, all that stuff. conquistadors. I don't even know what the hell that one is. Can't even see it. It's so old. It's another crest from Spain, but I don't know what the hell it is. That one. But you see a bunch of these. It just shows. Here's another one. There's a crest. This is a cool one. Look at that. That's a freaking one of my family members' crests. And that's pretty much it, other than a lot of documents. So that's what it's about. So when somebody says, you know, because we all have other, if you're not indigenous, you were from somewhere else, obviously. Now, because this whole thing started, my Spaniard ancestors ended up in Puerto Rico. And the natives there were Taino. And the Spaniards mixed in with the Taino Indians. So that's how I got my Native American blood that shows in my DNA. But the Tainos were wiped out. Not just in Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, the whole area. The Spaniards just went in and conquered and slaughtered. It's bad. They killed the indigenous, or they did worse. Yeah, there is worse than killing. You know where I'm going with that. He was a conquistador, Ponce de Leon. My ancestor. This is what it says. He was a Spanish explorer and conquistador known for leading the first official European expedition to Puerto Rico in 1508 and Florida in 1513. So it wasn't the English, it wasn't the French, even though we have evidence the Vikings possibly were here before them, before the Spanish Armada. It says where he was born in Spain. He was of noble birth and served in the Spanish military at a young age. He became a top military official in the colonial government of Hispaniola. And here it is, where he helped crush a rebellion of the native Taino people. He was authorized to explore the neighboring island of Puerto Rico and to take office as the first governor of Puerto Rico by appointment of the Spanish crown in 1509. He grew up quite wealthy from his plantations and mines. And there's one of my relatives. There it is, Diego Colon. There is one. There's something, that name comes up in my... He faced an ongoing legal conflict. Oh, by the way, I have direct connections to Christopher Columbus himself in my family tree. It was Christopher Columbus's son. That's right. That's who I'm also related to, his son. While Ponce de Leon grew up quite wealthy from his plantations and mines, he faced an ongoing legal conflict with Diego Colon. Diego Colon ancestors are in my tree. The late Christopher Columbus's son, over the right to govern Puerto Rico. After a long court battle, Columbus replaced Ponce de Leon as governor. Ponce de Leon decided to follow the advice of sympathetic King Ferdinand and explore more of the Caribbean Sea. He was the first one He led the first known European expedition to Florida, and they called it La Florida, which he named during his first voyage to the area. So where does Florida's name come from? The Spanish. Ponce de Leon named it. He landed somewhere along Florida's east coast, then charted the Atlantic coast down to the Florida Keys and north along the Gulf Coast. And he sailed perhaps as far as Apalachee Bay on Florida's western coast. That's where the hurricane. He was supposedly searching for the Fountain of Youth. We all heard about that. There's no evidence of that. So yeah. Look, in March 1521, Ponce de Leon finally returned to southwest Florida with the first large-scale attempt to establish a Spanish colony in what is now known as the continental United States. However, the native Calusa people fiercely resisted that incursion, and he was seriously wounded. The colonization attempt was abandoned, and he died from his wounds soon after returning to Cuba in early July. His tomb is located in the Cathedral of San Juan Bautista in San Juan. So there you go. So he did slaughter Taino Indians. It's in there. And this is Wikipedia, but so yeah, Diego, that's a name, my God. I forgot about that. Diego Colon, Christopher Columbus's son. Not only do I have Ponce de Leon in my tree, I have Christopher Columbus's son. I have ancestors connected to him in my family tree. That's crazy. So Christopher Columbus is like one of my ancestors, along with Ponce de Leon, the two of them. That's crazy to even think about that. That is nuts. That's why you never know. And you see the commercials, people say, wow, I didn't know I was related to that person. And that's, if you're able to track it like I did. Like I said, I spent months going through documents and yeah, you get a headache. I mean, it's just a lot. It's a lot. Let me go back to Ancestry. I'm going bike riding soon. I will be doing it live on Facebook. Let me go back to my family tree. I'm very curious right now. I forgot how I got there. Create and manage trees. View tree overview. I don't think I did it like that. Oh, yes, I did. People. We have to go way back. What was it? Diego Colon? I have a lot of colognes in here, but Diego Capitan. I hold a African 1606. Captain Don Diego Ramon Ramos Colon. He was of the Spanish Royal Army. He's my 8th great grand uncle. So he's an uncle. He was It just says Espinosa of the Spanish Royal Army. I know Espinosa is one part of. They had all kinds of names, but he was of the Spanish Royal Army. (1596), 1585. Another great grand uncle. It's been a while since I went through these records. Okay. That's the same person. It's crazy. When you do this, it's just nuts. You become obsessed with it like it's. That's not right. The Ponce de Leon is not coming up now. Why? I might have to up this up because I can't get access to certain things. Let me go to C. My God. There's a lot of colognes. But that doesn't mean. But the name is derived from that cologne. But there's a lot of colognes. Doesn't mean. I would have to look up like these people. Well, there it is. It is. I mean, I am a fucking descendant. Oh my God, it's not there. There it is. I'm getting the chills. I am a descendant of Christopher Columbus. I'm getting the chills. Juan Colón de Leando. He was born in 1600. His father was Juan Colón. And then the mother was Leonor de Luando Manuel. And he is a descendant of Christopher Columbus's son. That is sick. Here is he was a captain, which makes sense. So the Colon family, the Colon name is descendant of Christopher Columbus's son. Colon families of the 17th century in Puerto Rico, the name Colon means repopulator. The Colon family of Puerto Rico is said to have come from the Basque region of northern Spain. They were nobility and could have been related to Cristobal Colon, Christopher Columbus himself. The first of the Colon family tried to settle in Puerto Rico was Diego, the son of Columbus. It's crazy. Juan Diego Colon is on my list. And it's this one right here. He's connected directly. Colon del Luando. It's listed when I did a search. He's a descendant. Here's one descendant right here of the Columbus. Right here. Antonio Colon de Luando, captain of the Spanish Army. He was my 7th great grand uncle. So, an ancestor. Father of Diego Ramos Colon. No known carriers of one's DNA had taken a DNA test. Have you taken a test? If so, log in. Yes, I have. I have an ancestry DNA. Yes, I can prove it. It's asking, are you connected? Yes, I am. Holy shit. This is outrageous, just doing like the name searches. See? The Colon, that Colon name. Father of Adoma Colon. Juan Colon, captain of the Spanish Army. So I'm finding, but this is other sites that are showing it. Like this. Capitan, he was the captain of the army. But he is a descendant of Christopher Columbus. So it's crazy. And I have a Justo. He's probably the son of Colon Luando on my chart. He's my 7th great granduncle. So it's like weird. Here's another one. I see a half brother, birth of half brother, Antonio Colon de Luando, captain of Spanish Army. My 7th great granduncle. See, I haven't added him to my. I'm getting the chills. I have not added him to my. He's my seventh great granduncle. I have not added him. Antonio Colón de Loando. He's another one. Captain of the Spanish Army. So I have a lot of ties to Columbus's family. There's a ton. I did not make that connection before. Now I have. That's crazy. I am a descendant of Christopher Columbus. Who could make that claim? I have the proof. They're all on my ancestry list. There's a lot of them. A lot of them. Because he had a lot of brothers and stuff. I'm just going to share part of my list on the screen so you could see it. Colón de Loando, Francisco, Gregorio. This looks like a wife. There's a bunch of them. Here's the captain, Spanish Royal Army, 1606. Loando. They're everywhere. They're all over my list. They're everywhere. And they're all descendants of Columbus. Remember, Diego Colón. It's sick. This is crazy. Now, what is Columbus's son's name? Diego Colón, I believe. Yes, Diego Columbus, but it became Colón. Diego Colón. There it is. In Spanish, it became Diego Colón. So Christopher Columbus's son. Bullshit. Wait a minute. Yes, he was the eldest son of Christopher Columbus. So I am Christopher Columbus. If I'm related to his son, that would make him a descendant, obviously. That's sick. I'm like, I can't believe it. After the compromise with his son, Colón de Toledo. So they had all these other king's cousin. You're married to Luis Avilla. Colón de Toledo. Colón. See, there's a lot of interconnecting pieces here. I'm going to have to do some serious research on this. Serious research. Because now I'm becoming a little obsessed right now with this. But then there's Ponce de Leon. Like, what the hell is that about? Then she was my 8th great grandmother. And she's a Ponce de Leon. She married him. She married Ponce de Leon. Or, actually, no, she's related. She couldn't have married him because he died in the early 1500s. So his relative. That's my 8th great grandmother. She's a Ponce de Leon. So she married into the family. He's his descendant. Look at this. Birth of son Diego Ramos Colon. See, this is this Colon thing. See, and then it ties back to Francisco Juan Colon. This Colon thing. It's complicated. Ponce de Avila. What the hell? This Colon thing is driving me ballistic. Capitan, birth of son. All right, so the birth of the son was the captain. Where's the parents? That the father. Who is he? 9th great grandfather. 1540 he was born. Does it have his parents? They had a lot of children. See, they got married to a lot of, it's so mixed. It's complicated. When you try to tie it all together, it is freaking complicated. Juan Davila, that's a 15, what? Who's this? 8th great granduncle, Juan Davila Colon. Birth of brother? See, this is how you dig. Okay, there's the father, the same one. I can go on and on all day with this to dig. But that Colon name, and it says it, in the 1500s, 16th century, the names associated with Cologne were Columbus's. Cologne, 16th century ties to Columbus. Oh my God, it's not going to do it. Cologne, 16th century. Let me just look this up like this. Or colonial settlement. See, it's gonna. This is something I'm gonna have to like really, really dig. Cologne, century, Puerto Rico. Yeah, that's talking about the Taino Indians. See, like I said, this is gonna take some freaking time to dig. But it's definitely connected. this is going to take some time. Let me look this up. Diego Colon ancestors. Let's see what this one pulls up. Colombo. Oh, that's not going far enough. Fuck. They might want me to pay. Let me look. Yeah, it's not going down. They only have Toledo. Not far enough. It's Toledo, Colón de Toledo. All right, time out. Where's Colón? Let me pull a name. An old name. It's got to be really back. Francisco Juan Colón de Luando. Let me just look up one of my ancestors. But he was born in 15. It's after that, 1585. Francis. What is it? Where is it? Francisco Colón de Luando. See if anything comes up. Ancestor of the Ramos Colón. All right, this one says wasn't descended from Christopher Columbus either. Wait a minute. This is Crest. But look at the name. It's under a different fucking name. That's not it. That link doesn't work. He was a conquistador. That's definitely my family. But it doesn't give me any information. See, it says it here. The Colón family of Puerto Rico is said to have come from the Basque region of northern Spain. They were nobility and could have been related to Cristobal Colón. The first of the Colón family to settle in Puerto Rico was Diego Ramos Colón. He's on my fucking list. I seen that one. Oh, that's just crazy. Where is it? Oh my God. I gotta go to D? I know I saw that on my freaking list. Diego Ramos. Let me look up Ramos. Shit. This is going to be hard. Ramos. There it is. Ramos Colón. Captain Don Diego Ramos Colón. He He's my seventh great granduncle. He's a descendant of him. Ain't that a bitch? Oh, shit. Right there, Captain Don Diego Ramos Colon. He was my seventh great granduncle. A descendant. Look at this. It's all over the place. Colon. Capitan Don Diego Ramos Colon. Ain't that something? My seventh great granduncle. Wow. Diego Colon was Christopher Columbus's son. So he is a descendant of Diego Colon. I'm getting the chills. The Colon name in the 16th century, the 1500s, that name, Diego Colon, that's a direct association to Columbus's son, Diego Columbus, but in Spanish, it's Diego Colon. If people don't realize that. And we can look that up. Diego Colon. This is Diego Colon when you search it. It's Diego Columbus. In Spanish, it's Diego Colon. Right here. Bingo. Right there. That's how you would say it in Spanish. He was known as Diego Colon. Diego Columbus. Not to be confused with Diego, the youngest brother of Christopher Columbus. This was his son, Diego Colombo. He was the eldest son of Christopher Columbus. Wow. That's mind-blowing. That is mind-blowing. I did not know that till looking at the tree more carefully, because it's been a while. I knew I had Spanish conquistadors in the family, captains and all that stuff, but I never made the link to Diego Colon, Columbus's son. And I've got a ton of the Colon thing in my family tree. Great uncles and Ponce de Leon, the two of them. I guess the further you go back to your ancestry, going back to Puerto Rico, Spain, I mean, how many of them came from Spain initially to settle in Spain? So my ancestors, I have documents from 1460, 1430, showing them going to Spain. So they were amongst the first settlers in Spain, my ancestors. I have the documents to prove that. So that's why they were part of that first wave of settlers in Puerto Rico. And they were all like, there wasn't many to start it, so they're all connected. Follow? It's not like all of a sudden there was 1,000 people from Spain. In the beginning, it was just on ships, a few, because obviously they sent the conquistadors, military, to stabilize and wipe out, because they did, the Taínos, which I have that blood in my system too. That's why I am Native American, because they are native to the Americas, Puerto Rico. It's part of the North American continent. Even though it's an island, it's still considered North America. So that's why it comes up as I have at least, because now there's more information. At last I checked years ago, it was 17% Native American. It's probably higher now that more information has come in. There's more people are now examining, because they thought the Taino Indians were wiped out, that there's no descendants. That's not true. I'm one of them. And there's a push to try to find out more. And here's a little information on them. And they wiped them out throughout the islands, the Spaniards. It wasn't pretty. Taino. Historic indigenous people of the Caribbean. And there's descendants that still do it. At the time of the European contact in the late 15th century, they were the principal inhabitants of most of what is now called Cuba. That's what I was talking about, the islands. Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Haiti, Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, and the northern, so the islands. They were the first to be encountered by Christopher Columbus. They spoke the dialect of the Arawakan language. They lived in agriculture societies ruled by, oh my God, and fixed elements, blah, 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 blah. See, however, many people today identify as Taino or claim Taino descendant, most notably in subsections of the Puerto Rican, Cuban, and Dominican nationalities. Many Puerto Ricans, Cuban, and Dominicans have Taino mitochondrial DNA showing that they are descendants through the direct female line. So Columbus but it doesn't say how they were taken out. It's not getting into that part. Maybe. Spanish. Columbus and the crew of his ship were the first Europeans to encounter the Taino people as they landed in the Bahamas. Columbus described them initially as physically tall, well-proportioned people with noble and kind personalities. Columbus in his diary wrote this: oh my God. Oh my God. On Columbus's second voyage, he began to demand tribute from the Taino in Hispaniola. According to this person, each adult over 14 years of age was expected to deliver a hawk's bell full of gold every 3 months, or when this was lacking, 25 pounds of spun cotton. If this tribute was not brought, the Spanish cut off their hands of the Taino and let them bleed to death. These savage cruel practices inspired many revolts by the Taino and campaigns against the Spanish, some being successful and some not. So yeah, this is not good. And there's Ponce de Leon. They tried to revolt in 1511, and then my ancestor, the governor, Juan Ponce de Leon, suppressed a revolt. And then they fled to Hispaniola, from Hispaniola to Cuba. Wow. Genocide. There it is. There it is, right there. How they tried to wipe them out. There was anywhere from 10,000 to 1,000,000 people. The maximum estimates for Jamaica and Puerto Rico are 600,000 people. An analysis, a genetic analysis in 2020 estimated the population to be no more than a few tens of thousands. They slaughtered them. There were 60,000 people living on this island when I arrived in 1508, including the Indians. So that from 1494 to 1508, over 3 million people had perished from war, slavery, and the mines. Who in future generations will believe this? But researchers doubt it. Disease played a significant role in the destruction. Of course, the Spaniards brought it, just like they did throughout the Americas. That is well documented. And the Spaniards were brutal. The Spaniards responded with violent military expeditions. The purpose of the military expeditions were to capture the indigenous people. This violence by the Spaniards was a reason why there was a decline in the Taino population, since it forced many of them to emigrate to other islands. In 30 years, between 80 to 90% of the Taino population died. And a lot of it was disease too. Then the food supply. Then disease. And it says here they believe disease was an overwhelming cause of population decline. And are attributed to a large number of the Taino deaths. But somebody, a researcher, historian from California, disease alone does not explain the destruction of indigenous populations of Hispaniola. It was the disease, though. See, the Europeans rebounded following the devastation population decline associated with the Black Death. There was no such rebound for the indigenous populations of the Caribbean. He concluded that even though the Spanish were aware of deadly diseases such as smallpox, there is no mention of them in the New World until 1519. So yeah, disease had a big role of it today. So this is my descendant, part of it, the Taino Indians. It's really interesting when you look at when you do the research. So even though my ancestors directly are from Spain, links to Columbus' son, links to Ponce de Leon. That's why I said to start this whole thing, Ponce de Leon is not someone I'm necessarily proud of being in my ancestry, because he was cruel as the governor assigned by Spain, first governor in Puerto Rico. And of course, the Europeans, the natives, the indigenous here, period, throughout the Americas. The Europeans, the Spaniards, they brought disease here, and it spread, and it did. It did result in a lot of death to indigenous peoples. That's for sure. But that wasn't the only thing they did. They slaughtered them. They took them back to Spain as slaves. And I don't even want to get into the other details on the research that I've done. That's why a lot of people that really dug into the history, Columbus was not exactly a nice guy. Now they try to dispute that he demanded this, that he from the Taínos, but I mean, it was paid by the Spaniards. So Columbus is working for the Spaniards. So who's really to be held in account? The accountability is coming from the king and queen of Spain, Isabella, Ferdinand and Isabella. Really, Ferdinand, the king. He's the one that's making the orders to the conquistadors. So, guilty by association, taking command, and you're following through those orders, but he's answering to Spain. There's a lot of different ways. And that's why you see it. And this whole thing started, as I mentioned, a holiday, Columbus Day. Well, now it's Indigenous Peoples Day. Why? Well, when you dig into it a little bit, that's why. Because of what happened to the indigenous population here because of that. You can see it from that point of view. And people say, oh, why did they change it? Well, look into the history. Do the research, like I just showed a little bit on the screen. And I'm related. It's coming from, I just showed you my connections to Ponce de Leon directly. And they say, because it's a Colon name that I have in my family tree, especially a Diego Colon that I showed on the screen, is that directly, and they say there's speculation that it's true, is that directly a descendant of Christopher Columbus's son? Because they were amongst the first ones there. I don't know. That one I have to look into more. But it's pointing in that direction that my ancestors are connected to Christopher Columbus's son, which makes Christopher Columbus my relative. If it's his son, if I'm connected to his son, I'm connected to him. That was his eldest son, Diego Colon. It's crazy. When I look at this, my family is descendants of both of them. Captains of the Spanish army. Conquistadors in my family. Can you imagine what they did in their role as captain of the Conquistador army, the Royal Army of Spain? Can you imagine what they... So sometimes when you look at your tree, it may not be happy, happy, joy, joy. And that's crazy because I have a conflict because I have that Taino blood in me. Meanwhile, how did that blood end up? Was it consensual or otherwise by the Spaniards, if you follow what I'm saying? That's why it's shady. There's a lot of shady history there. But now I think I'm gonna, because like I said, I have 380 family tree people. It was months of headache doing that research. Documents, tracing them back to Spain. That is months work tracking my ancestors. It took me months. And it's not easy. Months. You can right click, tab, hold the person in tree to see the background. It's crazy. I can't. I wish I could show the whole tree. Tree viewing options. It's not showing. I don't know why not. Hints. I got more hints. Juan Davila. I mean, I have a lot of colognes. It's sick. Who is this? Oh, you see? Upgrade to view. They want me to pay. $21.20 for the first month. This is why I stopped it. Because they were charging too much money. But see, this is a new hint. He's Shomorn family. He's definitely related. Capitan Don Diego Ramos Colon. There's that Ramos Colon. There's that Diego Ramos Colon that we saw earlier, directly tied to Columbus. It's right there, but I can't open it because it wants me to pay. So he's a descendant. He was born in 1602 and he died in 1693. But I can't open it. He was a captain. And I'm not paying. They could take a walk. Tree overview. See, it's not letting me. They want me to pay. Pay. I have 380 people on my tree. 380. This one bugs me though. This is my 8th great grandmother. She's a Ponce de Leon. Now she's a descendant. 1595 she was born, but she's a descendant of Ponce de Leon. My what is it? 8th great grandmother is a descendant of Ponce de Leon. So he is my something. She's my 8th great grandmother. So she married into the Ponce de Leon family line. Probably a son or grandson, but she married into it. She's got the last name. Ponce de Leon. That's undeniable right there that he's a relative, a descendant, ancestor of mine. You don't get Ponce de Leon in your name without being Ponce de Leon. I can tell you that. So he is a descendant of mine, an ancestor of mine, I mean. Not a descendant, ancestor. It's crazy. It's crazy. And like I said, Diego Ramos Colon, another one, Diego Ramos Colon, which we looked up before, is a descendant of Christopher Columbus's son. But you see, they were there's mixes. Like this is Cecilia Adorno Colon. So there's like, that's why you get these splits in the names, because they married multiple times. So this is my 7th great granduncle. And it's just crazy. It really is crazy. But Diego Ramos Colon, Captain, that's him. But that's a family tree thing. Captain of the Spanish Royal Army. See, here it is right here. The Colon family of Puerto Rico is said to have come from the Basque region of northern Spain. They were nobility and could have been related to Cristobal Colon, Christopher Columbus himself, because of the son. The first of the Colon family to settle in Puerto Rico was Diego Ramos Colon de Luando. That's my direct fucking relative I just showed on the screen, who arrived on, that is just crazy. But we're not going to be able to see it. So my family is of noble descendants. Who arrived on the island in the mid-1600s. Colon married into the wealthy and influential family of Torres. I have the Torres crest. That I know. Descendants have been involved in island business and government. So yes, I am directly connected to fucking Christopher Columbus. It doesn't get more bizarre than that. And I do have the Torres crest in my family. I can bring that up. Isn't this crazy? It's making me freak out, actually. Photos. Watch. Wow, no, come on. Okay, here we go. There's a lot. Here's the Torres coat of arms for my family. It just mentioned Torres. This is my crest. I'm going to show it on the screen. Well, part of it. Torres. We just read that. One of my family members' crests. Linked to Maria Leonor Colon. Oh, there goes that freaking name again. And it's the Luando. There's the Luando. See how it mixes? She is a direct descendant of Columbus right there. She was my 6th great grandmother. And there's the Luando. And then became a Rivera too. So you see how it intertwines? It's just nuts. That's my 6th great grandmother, Torres. There's the crest of royalty, nobility. All connected to Columbus. It's just so nutty. It really is just nutty. So this now makes me, not now, because I'm going bike riding. So my ancestor is Christopher Columbus, his son too, and Ponce de Leon. Is that nuts? You're looking at a descendant of Christopher Columbus and Ponce de Leon. How many people can say that? Not many. I showed you all the documentation. You could rewind. That's wickedly nuts. I just like, I'm freaking out on it. Because I never made the connection with the cologne. This happened this morning. I never made that connection. I mean, and that Luando, we just saw it on the search. Descendants of Christopher Columbus himself, Cristobal, which Columbus in Spanish is Colon. Another one. The same one I think I just showed before. Capitan Don Diego Ramos Colon de Luando. A direct link to Columbus. He is my 7th great granduncle. Direct. Diego Ramos. Remember that name, Ramos too. Colon. Direct. Go search it. You'll see. Diego Ramos Colon. Now there's a lot of family tree shit here. I'm just going to show it one more time, then I'm going bike riding. Colon families of the 17th century, so that's the 1600s, in Puerto Rico, their roots. The Colon name is Latin. Let's click on it. That same thing. And let's see, it's not going to give me notable descendants. It's not going to show it. Unbelievable. But it says it here. The Colon family of Puerto Rico is said to have come from the Basque region of northern Spain. They were nobility and could have been related to Cristobal Colon, Christopher Columbus. Could have been. The first of the Colon family settled was Diego, and there it is. It's not going to open up the information, which sucks. View inside. Damn it, see? I can't check it. Maybe this one? Okay, Luando. There it is, direct. Just the name I just put. The Luando name. The first of the Colon family settled Puerto Rico was Diego Ramos Colon de Luando, direct relative of mine. I just showed him his name on my screen. The Colon married into wealthy and influential family of Torres. I showed the crest. Descendants of them have been involved in island business and government. So they were nobility and key word, could have been related to Christopher Columbus. I wonder who the hell is this guy? He must be a descendant himself. So it's crazy. It really, really is nutty. He was a captain. And there's the Torres, married into the Torres. Capitan. Oh, there's the crest. I have that picture. There's the crest. Ugh. Oh my God. That is so annoying. But yeah, I have that crest in mine. My account. Let me see. I know I do. Pictures. I've got messages from people too. A relative in Puerto Rico messaged me. She sent me if I need help with the tree. She did this a year ago. I haven't checked it. If I need help, no problem. If you need help with your tree, reach out anytime. She's a cousin. I don't even know her. Let me click on her. Who is she to me? She was on yesterday. She's here. She's in New York. Wow. I'm just checking something. I'm trying to find the... Trying to find it. This is not easy, I'll be honest. Without paying for it. I mean, I can still access my documents limited. That's BS. I know I saw it before. The crest of my family is so weird. Who was that name? What was that name? Diego, he should be on mine. I don't have to pay for it. He should be on my list. Diego Ramos Colon. He has to be on my list. De Luando. All right, people. Diego, look up D. Was it Diego Ramos Colon? Fuck. It's not coming under D. Let me look up Ramos. This is not as easy as you would think. There he is. It's listed differently under mine. And it doesn't show the crest. But he's there, listed differently. He's my 7th great granduncle. But you don't see that crest picture. There he is. Captain Don Diego Ramos Colon de Luando. Exact name that we just looked up. That's him, my 7th great granduncle. Descendant of Columbus. The Colon. Diego Ramos Colon. And then it's crazy. But this one doesn't show the crest. Okay, let me see that. I want to look at that crest again. So it's Diego Ramos Colon de Luyando. Images. That's his, probably the wife. I'm gonna have to look her up. Maria Colon de Luando. I gotta see if she's. That's Columbus's son, Diego Colon. I cannot read this. Maria Colon. I don't know where I don't know any of that. I don't know what the hell that is. Antonio, we have to look it up again. What's the crest? This is somebody else's. I gotta look at mine. Screw that. Maria Colon. Do I have a Maria Colon? I may not have added her. Where's the wife? See, this one doesn't have it. That's a different. I use Ancestry. That was a different one. I have him, but it's not listing. He's my 8th grade granduncle. This is like nutty. Let me go search it again. Ramos. I may have to pay for this again. Hints. Possible marriage records. New. It's not gonna let me see it. I know it. It's not gonna let me see the freaking hints. There's the Torres. That's not gonna work. Oh, there it is. Wait a minute. Birth of half sister. See, this is where it gets crazy. She's my 7th great grand aunt, Maria Colon de Torres Luando. There's that Torres. This is nutty. Right here. It's nuts. This is nuts. I'm going crazy with this today. Maria Colon de Torres Luando. So there's the Maria Colon, and there's the Torres with the crest that they married into. of nobility. It's a noble name. The Cologne name is noble. But see, it just gets crazier as it splits up. It's just nuts. Who is this? Francisco Juan Colon. A brother? Diego Ramos Colon, birth of son. That has to be the one. Capitan, birth of son. That's the one. That's the one we were looking up. That's directly tied to Columbus. Birth of son, Capitan Don Diego. Here's another. There's two. Let me see this one. Does it show a crest? No. What was he now? My 8th great granduncle. So let me click on the other one. Let's see if this one shows anything different. No crest. Same bullshit. I want to see my family crest. So, what is it? Capitan Don Diego Ramos. I'm going to copy this. My 7th great granduncle. And the same shit comes. There's the family crest. Oh, hell yeah. Luando Espinosa, that's Capitan. That's him. That's the crest. Oh, my God. See, these are all search bullshits. Some of them are in Spanish. No, well, Ancestry, that's no shit. I have him on my Ancestry. I have him on my Ancestry. These are just different. These are just different types of Ancestry lookup things. It's the same ones over and over. Ancestry.uk. Historical records. There's his crest. He died at 87. Had 21 siblings. Oh my God. No wonder it's complicated. And half brothers, half sisters, probably. It's probably a mess. Yeah, she's in my tree. I have her. Diaz de Sandoval. See, there's multiple records that people collected. Damn. That's the crust. Won't let me. What was that? What was her name? Sandoval? Yeah, 21, married Juana Luanda Espinosa. Born Diaz de Sandoval. I'm going to look that sucker up right now. Is she on my list? Diaz de Sandoval. Sandoval. She has to be. No results. Okay, go back to him. Ramos. Open it. Let's look. I'm getting a headache from this. Oh my God, look at all the siblings. Where's the wife? Death of mother. Death of father. Let me look at him quick. He's a Colon. Yeah, there it is. Birth of son, Diego. Capitan Diego. Okay. He was my 8th great grandfather. Holy shit. So that ties it all. He was my 8th great grandfather. That was the father of Capitan Don Diego. But that's weird how it lists him as my great granduncle, which makes sense. He would be my. How could that be? How could his son be my great granduncle? Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense to me. Diego Ramos. Where's his wife? Who is she? Oh shit. That's how they married into royalty. That's the importance. Look who his mother is, a Ponce de Leon. That's how it happened. They married in. Holy shit. I'm getting the chills. I'm getting the chills. So they united the Columbus line. They united the Columbus lineage to the Ponce de Leon lineage, and they merged. The nobility merged. His mother is a Ponce de Leon. Ain't that something? His mother is a Ponce de Leon, who is my what? 8th great grandmother. And there he is. And there's the Diaz de Sandoval. Who is she to me? My 7th great grand aunt. This Francisco Maria Colon de Torres. There she is. There's that connection. She's my 7th great grand aunt. There's the Colon. I'm connected. There's just no doubt about it. I am directly connected. But see, they had multiple marriages. This is where it gets tricky, because there it is. She's the mother of her. That's my great grand aunt in my fucking tree. That is sick. That is just so sick. I'm freaking out. The ties. All right. I gotta go back to him. All right, we know that. I've got to add these people to my trees. I got to pay for it, though, to do it. Juana Diaz. It's all there. It's all there. That is bizarre. Now, the oldest person that I can track back to from Spain, 1430, I think. 1430. Can you imagine that? 1430. That was the oldest I can go back. Here's an 18. No, that's 18. Where's 1430? Just think about that. Going back that far to your roots. Insane. I'm looking right now. 1460. 1460. He was the governor in Spain. In a place in Spain. They had different governors in different provinces. Okay. So 1460 is the oldest one so far. I know there was a 1430. $1515. $1460 again. $1490. $1490. There's a bunch of them. $1430. Who the heck is this? My 12th great grandmother. I wonder if they have her. She was from Spain, and then she died in Puerto Rico in 1528. Her. My 12th great grandmother. Birth 1430. And she died. She was one of the first settlers in Puerto Rico. 1528 she died. That's sick. Who the hell is he? I want to see if there's a record of her. Leonor Martel. Leonor Martel. There probably isn't. Who the heck? Oh shit, wait a minute. My family does come from the Canary Islands. That's part of Spain, by the way. Who the hell is that? Peraza, and the second or maternal name is Martel. 14, Sevilla. Conquistador. Lord of the Canary Islands. Martel and Leonor Ruiz de Peraza, but parents Leonor Ruiz de Peraza, but that's a Martel because that's another interpretation of it. Maternal family name is Martel. That's why this came up. His mother was Leonor Ruiz Peraza. So that's probably a fucking, excuse my language, an ancestor. Oh, this is getting more interesting as I. There it is, Leonore Martel. That must be her. My 12th grandmother must be her daughter. When Leonore Martel de Peraza was born in 1390, her father, another Martel, was 30. She had at least 4 sons. She died in 1430. That my grandmother, my great, 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 whatever, has to be spouse and children. Shit for you all. Siblings. Leonora. Okay. That's her parents. Spouse. The children. I'm gonna have to look up Martel in my thing. I have a few Martels. She has to be a direct descendant from her. She has to be. 1430. There's the crest. Same place, Sevilla. That has to be. There's the crest. There's the crest. She's my 12th great grandmother. My 12th great grandmother. But she has to be a descendant of the other. But it doesn't say her parents in mine, because I never tracked it that far. That is awesome. It's the same Martel because it's Sevilla. It's the same family lineage. Shit, I can't go back. All right, let me look that up again. The Wikipedia. So who the hell is my... Hernan Peraza Martel, also known as Hernan Fernan Peraza the Elder, El Viejo. Seville. There it is, Seville. He was a Castilian nobleman and conquistador and the territorial lord of the Canary Islands. So he was the freaking lord of the Canary Islands in the 1400s. There, right there, Leonore Martel, wife of Ferdinand Arias, the renowned lord of Castile and warden of... This is so bugged out. From his marriage to Inés de las Casas. This is outrageous. I wonder if I have a Peraza. See, I never added it. So who is... That is nutty. I really, really, really need to dig more into my ancestry. I may have to start paying for it again. Sevilla, that's it. She's definitely a relative. She's in from the same area. And she's a Leonore Martel. My 12th great grandmother. But it doesn't have the parents. And there's no hints. So that's why I got stuck. But the other one has it. And I can't do a search because I would have to pay. So that's the end of this for today. Holy shit. So my ancestor is Christopher Columbus and Ponce de Leon. It's mind-blowing. I'm a direct descendant of Christopher Columbus and Ponce de Leon. Who could, I mean, think about that shit. Who could say that? I can. I have the proof. I am totally mind blown. I'm freaking out, like, just thinking about that. I even have the crest pictures, everything on my ancestry. This is so wild. Oh my God. Coat of arms. There it is. The coat of arms from Sevilla, Spain. I have it. So these are the different things from my family. That's one. And to ask me what that's related to, Don Juan Ruiz. Don't know. And there it is. That one is the Seville, Spain one. The coat of arms from Sevilla, Spain. The one that goes back to being in control of the Canary Islands. He was a lord. Related to my 12th great grandmother. That is nuts. That's another thing. These are all documents that I have. There's the Martel thing in my family. There's the Martel. That links back to what we're talking about with Leonore Martel. And there's another one. So a lot of these is just Ruiz in Spain. There's another one. Cologne, Columbus. There it is. That's a crest in my family. Remember, Christopher Columbus in Spanish is Cristobal Colon. Cristobal in Spanish. It's not Columbus. Colon. Look what pops up. Christopher Columbus. And his son was Diego Colon. See? Look, Colombo. In Italian, Christopher Columbus. Cristobal Colon. In Spanish, is Christopher Columbus. And then he had his son Diego Colon, and then there's the Ramos thing. It's all tied to my family. What was his name? Diego. Remember, Columbus's oldest son was Diego Colon. Ramos Colon. Captain Diego Juan Colon de Loando is my relative. It's all tied to Columbus. He was the captain of the Spanish. Diego Ramos Colon de Loando Espanosa was the captain of the Spanish Army. All connected because, like I said, he was my... What the hell was he again? Uncle, great grand uncle, whatever the hell it was. And like I said, Ponce de Leon. This is really freaking me out. It really is freaking me out. I have the crest. I have everything. I don't even know who the hell this Colon is. I have another Colon. I have a lot of Colons. Actually, I own a lot of Colons too. All right, let me look at him again. Where is he? On my chain here. Here he is. He's my 7th great granduncle. Well, that's Antonio. Wrong one. But he's another captain of the Spanish Army. Here's Diego. Here's probably his brother or something. Another captain of the Royal Spanish Army. That's it right there. And look where's, I can't remember now. He's direct descendant of Columbus. My great 7th, whatever, granduncle. And then there's the Ponce de Leon connection with her. Where is she? And here's another one referring to Ramos Colon, Don Diego Ramos Colon, right there. It says it again, my 7th great granduncle, directly connected to Columbus. And that's my 7th great granduncle. I'm trying to find my Ponce de Leon grandmother connection. Where is she? And this is another thing connected to that Martel family. It is so sick that I come from such nobility in my family. That one, she's a descendant of Leonard, right there, Martel, whose parents or relatives was in control of the Canary Islands. He was the absolute ruler of the Canary Islands, part of Spain. This is a big deal, for me at least. Just looking at, okay, that's not it. Where is she? Where is the Ponce? I have 380. Oh, this list is just so long. Where is she? Where is my Ponce? Oh my God, I'm getting dizzy looking at all these names. I gotta go back to page 1. I might have missed her. Okay. I'm just looking for Ponce to stand out to me. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, she's not on that page. Where are you? There she is. Right here. So, my 8th great grandmother is a direct descendant of Ponce de Leon, who died in the early 1500s. He was wounded in a battle and died from his wounds. So, my great grandmother is a Ponce de Leon whose son, this is confusing, but his son is that Diego Ramos Colon. So what happened was they intertwined, the noble families married each other. So Columbus's family intertwined with Ponce de Leon's family. There's all kinds of stuff. He's my great grand uncle, but that one is different. But that's him. That Colon de Loando, that's the connection. And so Maria, she's royalty. They married into that family, the money family, the Torres family. This is all sick, how it's all connected. And I'll put it one more time, then I'm going bike riding. Colon family, Puerto Rico. Oh, that's the wrong one. That one. Oh yeah, wait. View inside. Ah. Stop it. Where is it? Colon family. Show more. Right here. And there's his name right there. The Colon family is of Latin origin, meaning repopulator. The Colon family of Puerto Rico is said to have come from the Basque region of northern Spain. They were nobility and could have been related to Christopher Columbus. The first of the Colon family to settle in Puerto Rico was Diego Ramos Colon de Loando, my 7th great granduncle, who arrived on the island in the mid-1600s. Colon married into the wealthy and influential family of Torres, which I just showed. And right now, their descendants are part of the island business and government. So that is just a sick, crazy connection to my family directly. It is insane. Because Torres, that name, those names I just showed on the screen, they're direct descendants of mine. Let me look up Torres. Yeah. It's, okay, now we have to go back to him. Ramos. It's the easiest way for me to find them. Captain Don Diego. My 7th great granduncle. And there it is. Birth of half-sister Maria Colon de Torres. But wait a minute. That doesn't... This one is not... Because it said he married. Hints, too. Capitan. 1596, that's the father. That's the mother. I have to have something else. That's him, though. is it? Torres. Maria Colon Torres. But who's her? There's the mother, the Ponce de Leon, who's my grandmother. Oh my God, it's his cray-cray. Yes, she's my 8th great-grandmother. And there's that one of this, that's the other one, that's the Saldivar. And there is that Torres. It's all there. Birth of daughter. This is just bizarre. Hints 4. See, these are other trees that have the information, but they may not be the person. See, like this one is not it. Mexico. This might be it. Review. I'm gonna have to pay, so I don't pay for it no more. There's the Torres name. Father. Juan Colon de Luando. I don't know if that's a connection. That's different. This is not the same person. I'm gonna click it anyway. Yeah, this is different. That's not it. That's different names. So no. That is not descendants of mine. She is. And her father is my 8th great-grandfather. And there's Diego Ramos Colon, the son. There's 2 of them. There's 3 of them. They're all different sources of information. Birth of sister Juana Diaz de Sandoval. That's it. This is wild. Wow, they had a lot of siblings, man. Antonio Colon, half-brother, captain of the Spanish Army. Who was he? My 7th great-granduncle. Another Colon, because they're all related. And yes, his mother, different marriage, half-brother, makes sense. So who is she to me? My 8th great-grandmother, wife of grandfather. See? That's his other wife. So this is not, this would be a step thing. That's how we're connected. Yes. He's my 7th great-granduncle, which was his half-sister was the other one. it's his half-sister. So he's direct descendant of mine. That's her half-sister. His half-sister. Her. From another marriage. But he's direct descendant of mine. He is my uncle. But then they married his father, my great whatever uncle, grandfather, my 8th great-grandfather married again and had them. It's complicated. Hey, he got married again. Look at all the marriages. Well, they could be the same marriage. 1660. There's the other wife that I just looked up. So these are my through marriage, which is not important. because they're not direct descendants. They're half. This is the important stuff up here. He is my uncle. Well, his son is my uncle. And that's the one that's connected. It's insane. It's absolutely insane how this all comes together. It's crazy, dude. Genghis, this is nuts. Flew the Red Knights Templar flag on his ships because his natives were visited by... Oh, now that is interesting. So if the natives saw the ship, he was hoping they would be less likely to be attacked. So wonder you got some of them ancient relics that could been Knights Templar. Holy shit, don't make me freak out even more, Genghis. I'm already on the edge. And you know I'm not bullshitting here because I put a lot of shit on the screen. This is not bullshit. It just happens to be that I am direct descendant of Columbus, highly likely of Columbus, and definitely Ponce de Leon, with the Colon name in my family lineage. There's a lot of them. From the early 1500s. Because remember, think about the first ships. As a matter of fact, I think it was 1494. The first ships arrived in Puerto Rico. When did Columbus arrive? Puerto Rico. Like, look, this is fucked up. This is what gets me. And that's why I'm not so proud of saying this. Because there's some dirt, I mean, there's griminess. And I'll be the first to call it out. If Ponce de Leon was standing in front of me, my ancestor, I would say something. You think I'm going to hold my tongue? I don't hold my tongue to my own mother. I'm going to hold it to him. Christopher Columbus bumped into Puerto Rico in his second voyage to the New World, 1493. The island was named San Juan Bautista after St. John the Baptist. And this, on August 12, 1508, Ponce de Leon, a soldier who had traveled with Columbus in 1493, invaded Puerto Rico with a small army of soldiers and became Puerto Rico's first governor. So it looks like it was in the early 1500s, which is when my family was there. I don't even want to go into the Taino. So heck yes. It's all connected. So I wonder if they married. It is going to be tough. Columbus relatives marry into Ponce de Leon family. Over here, there's no information. Family tree chart. Let's see if this is going to make me... Second wife unknown. Children. It's Juana, siblings. There's no information. So who the hell is my Ponce de Leon? Maria Ponce de Leon. She's believed to be the eldest. I got to go back to my chart. Ancestry. I don't think it has information on her parents. I had to go back to her. See, it's shady how far you can go without getting the records, because even on sites, it's like a mystery. Yeah. Who is he? Maria Ponce. See, that's where it. Maria Longines Ponce de la Villa. There's no information. I can't get anything. Maybe I could look her up on a search engine. I'm gonna try. She was born in 1595. She has the Ponce de Leon name. There are pictures of her. There are actually paintings of her. Why would there be paintings of her? She's my relative. I'm gonna cry. There has to be significance to this. This is my. I've never seen her image before. That's her. She's my 8th great grandmother. That's killing me right now. I gotta show Mom this later. Catalina Echevarria Espinosa y Ponce de Leon. And I can show you how I matched it. That's her. There's a lot of paintings of her. That's my 8th great grandmother. And she's in history. Women of history. And why is there no... ¿Por qué creen que no... Why do we not know the name and history of her? That's my great... I swear I'm emotional. She's my 8th great grandmother. My 8th great grandmother. that's Maria. That says Argentina. Oh, what is this, Ponce? All right, that's not it. This is just insane. This is going to drive me nuts. Catanilla, that's her. Catanilla Echeverria Espinosa. 1590. Wife of Antonio Capitan. All right, she was the captain. He's got to be, that's my family crest. All right, Antonio Colon. Let me look at mine. Where is Antonio Colon? He's got to be on mine. He must be. I'm looking for his name now. Espinosa Colon. Come on. What is it? Antonio Colon de Luando. Colon de Luando. Arias. He's on mine. My 7th great-granduncle. He was a captain of the Spanish Army. So she was married to him. But see, it doesn't list her here as the wife. But it does on the other site. It's so bizarre. Mother, wife of Antonio Colon de Luando. He is my uncle. Great, great, great. So see how you have to piece all this shit together? What's up, C? But that's crazy that my family, I'm a direct, that is sick how I am a descendant of Christopher Columbus and Ponce de Leon. That is sick. I'm still absorbing this. Where's Diego? Where's Ramos? And you know, see, you're a Torres. Well, my family's Torres from Spain. My crest has a Torres. It was actually nobility married into it. I've been spending like the last 2 hours on this. I am also Torres. I'm gonna show you. I have the family crest too. They were noble, they were rich. I have to go to my, because it's a complicated thing, but we have to dig further. It's tough, but it goes way back in my tree. Let me go back to my tree. And what I was just saying with Ponce, I've been talking about it, and the Christopher Columbus thing. So My 8th great grandmother is a Ponce de Leon. I'll just put it quick. She's a Ponce de Leon, my 8th great grandmother. Just to put that up fast without going back into everything that I've been doing for the last 2 hours. And birth of son, Diego, if you look this name up, Diego Ramos Colon Luando, you're going to find out the connection to Columbus. And he was my 7th great grand uncle. Right here. The Luando. Look this up. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again, but very likely that this is collected to the Colon. Remember, Christopher Columbus's name in Spanish is Cristobal Colon. His son was his oldest son, Diego Colon. And the first people to be on the island one of them was the Colon family, which I have a ton. And I have the records from the 1500s to show it. It's insane. It made me freak out today. This really made me freak out today. Because I never made the Cologne connection to Columbus. It's nuts. And my family crest, Torres, is right here, the Torres coat of arms. Look at this. That's my family crest. That is crazy. And that's linked to this person in my tree. 1698. My 6th great grandmother. Another Cologne. Here's that Cologne. So how do we get the Torres in here? And this is where it gets freaking nutty. To try to make that tie. Marriage. Tomas, look at the parents. Let's go to the parents. It's so crazy. I can't tell you how. I have 380 people on my tree. Gregorio. I should just look up Torres. But we may not go that far back. See, look, the Cologne. I have the Cologne, Christopher Columbus's thing here. That's the Cologne. You don't get that. You just don't get that. That's in my family. Remember, Christopher Cologne. But this is descendants of. It is so nutty. It is so nutty. I'm going to look up Torres in my tree. This is giving me a headache. I'm going bike riding on something. We're sorry we can't load this page. Trees. Create and manage trees. View tree overview. People. Last name. I don't know if it's going to be last name. Torres. Torres. Who is this? My 4th great grandmother. Because it ties into the Rivera. Juana Maria Sefer Torres y Torres. So that's more recent, 1890. That's different. That's getting a little bit too closer to now. So I have to add these people. All right, potential. Who is he? Lorenzo Torres. It's nutty. I'm telling you, this shit is nutty. It'll drive you crazy when you're doing this. It will drive you nuts. I can't even tell you. When you're making all the connections. But it goes way back. I'm trying. But anyway, you get the idea. Yes, because the way they married, the way the names went, the Spaniards, it starts simple, but the more they married, the more they attached the names to it. It's just like they kept extending the names. It's a thing with the Spaniards. It's just a thing. I found out a lot of information today. The royalty that I've been associated to in my family. A lot of royalty in my family. It is crazy. I'm not paying for this no more, so I can't add. But I can still access the 380 that I did initially add. But now I can't do no more unless I pay $20 freaking a month. So kind of, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And I wrote to them, I commented, you charge too much. I'm paying the minimum just to keep this alive. And it's true what they said on the research. All the information of the colognes start popping up in the 1600s. There's a gap in the 1500s with the colognes. I don't know if they did it on purpose, the Spaniards, not to keep records of Christopher Columbus's descendants. I don't know. But there is a gap. And it's hard to close that gap. Like I got a 1595 of a cologne, but there's a gap. So anyway, I'm done with this. It's going to drive me nuts. So it's been driving me nuts for the last 2.5 hours. I'm going to just do one more. And then I'm going bike riding on a mission I've never done before. Before I get too tired that I don't want to go. I'm going to do something totally different. And it's only going to be on Facebook. I'm trying to find it. I'll just show it one more time because I got a headache now from this. So this is tied to my great whatever granduncle. The Cologne name is of Latin origin, meaning repopulator. The Cologne family of Puerto Rico is said to have come from the Basque region of northern Spain. They were nobility and could have been related to Christopher Columbus. Keyword, could have been related to Christopher Columbus. The first of the Colon family to settle in Puerto Rico was Diego Ramos Colon de Luando. Remember that. Diego Ramos, the first. Diego Ramos Colon de Luando. Diego Ramos, which I'm going to do it right now. Right here. Diego Ramos Colon de Luando, Luyando, whatever. He is my 7th great granduncle. He was the captain of the Spanish Royal Army. Isn't that fucking nuts? My 7th great granduncle. Now that's not a half. That is pure blood. That is direct descendant. I am a direct descendant of him. And the father's connected to, with the Colon name, he's connected to Columbus. It's just nuts. It's really nuts. When I saw that today, I didn't know that. I did not know that till today. I made that connection today. That's why I'm freaking out on this all morning. Because people don't realize how you do it. Cristobal Colon is, in Spanish, Christopher Columbus. Cristobal Colon is Christopher Columbus. Cristobal Colon, in Spanish, is Christopher Columbus. His son, crazy enough, and it makes reference to my direct lineage, is Diego Colon, who is Christopher Columbus's oldest son. Diego Colon, the eldest son of Christopher Columbus. And I have a direct relative, Diego Ramos Colon, who is a descendant of... do you see how nuts this is? It's crazy. Like I said, I've been freaking out all morning on this shit. First of all, Ponce de Leon. That's one thing. To find out that you're possibly, most likely, because they said could be, there's certain words they use there because there's a gap in the records, but it's a Colon, and they said Columbus settled. His son took over for Ponce de Leon as governor of Puerto Rico in the early 1500s. And then Ponce went to go look for the Fountain of Youth in Florida. Do you know that Ponce de Leon actually named Florida? It's La Florida. Look that up. He was the first European settler. Florida is named by Ponce de Leon. So, looking for the Fountain of Youth. So, he got removed, and they put Diego Colon, Christopher Columbus' son, as governor of Puerto Rico. So the Colon family was establishing in Puerto Rico, which is my relatives. So they are descendants of the Colon, the Columbuses. Follow? So it is insane. And then again, my great great grandmother is a Ponce de Leon. You can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. Anyway, I'm done. Because it's almost 11, and I'm going to do something now that I've never done. So I really don't know what to expect. I'm going to kill all these windows. I will be on Facebook. And I'm going to do something scary. Kind of. Yes, Kathy, Columbus and Ponce de Leon are my ancestors. Yes, for real. I'm not saying that loosely. For real. Columbus is a high likelihood. Ponce de Leon is for sure. Isn't that crazy? Now, I'm not about to go buy Columbus's picture and Ponce de Leon's pictures and put them on my wall because I don't want them on my wall based on what their history is. I wouldn't want them. I don't even want my own ancestors on my wall because what they were involved with, to be honest. You're talking, and I can say that as a freaking descendant. How's that? I don't want them. I don't want Ponce de Leon or Columbus or Cristobal Colon on my wall. Because people don't realize what he did with the Taino Indians. Christopher Columbus, on his second trip, demanded from the Tainos that they hand him stuff 14 years and older. And if they didn't meet his demands, he would cut their hands off and let them bleed to death. Columbus did that. Do I want somebody on my wall that did something like that to the Indians, the indigenous people? No, I don't. And Ponce de Leon was cruel. I mean, he was in charge of some stuff that I'm not proud of. So, no. History, they want to, sometimes they want to change what happened in history, not to reflect what really happened in history. Now, again, a lot of it was exactly all the Spanish explorers, and they're my ancestors. My ancestors were conquistadors. I put a couple on the screen, just two, that were captains of the Royal Spanish Army. And Ponce de Leon was a conquistador. So, when you do the research and you do the homework, no matter how clean you want to make it look, and to omit the true dark history, to me, is shameful. The cover-up of what really happened. They did. Now, a lot of that decimation of the native population was bringing disease from Europe to the indigenous. A lot of them died as a result of disease brought here from the European settlers. The Spanish, look what the Spanish brought the disease to. I mean, there are people that think that the Mayans may have disappeared because of the disease that the Spaniards brought to South America. You had Black Death going on in Europe. They brought that disease to here. So, a lot of it, but they took them as slaves and brought them back to Spain. Spain and Portugal worked there, right there together. There's a lot. And the pillaging. Yes, smallpox was big. I read that earlier looking up the research. Smallpox, definite. So, and did they know purposely that they were bringing disease? Or did they inadvertently bring the disease and they knew they had dealt with the disease in Europe? They didn't care if they spread the disease to the indigenous here. So, there's a lot of ways to look at this. And like I said, I'm not too crazy about it. And yes, sometimes they did. They knowingly knew what the impact would be. There's all kinds of stuff coming in, like siren sounding in northern Israel. There's all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to get into it, but these noises are the notifications coming in. I couldn't stand that alert thing. It was driving me nuts. Uh-oh, what is Commander writing? Somebody said to me, word is Iran is getting ready to attack Israel. Unconfirmed. I will not put out information. I'm just saying somebody just messaged me that. Unconfirmed. No, I have no credibility to back that up. I'm just saying there's stuff coming in. A lot of it. A lot. What? Oh, shit. The New York Times is citing U.S. officials saying that Iran will hit Israel within the next 12 hours after dark. The U.S. Embassy issued a high-level warning to its staff, ordering them to return home and be prepared to enter a bomb shelter. Oh, shit. It's the first such order since the Iranian air attack on Israel in April. So looks like it's going down. There's all kinds of stuff coming in. Unconfirmed. This is coming from an Israeli news agency. Like I said, take it for what it's worth. There's a lot of stuff coming in. Now, they were right yesterday. This was I can't see without my glasses. Rockets falling in the maritime area off the coast of Netanya a short time ago. Again, anything I read from this, I cannot confirm. So I shouldn't even read it. But some of these sources have been very reliable with their information, so I won't read them. That's propaganda. There's a lot of that out there. That I'm telling you, what's going on in North Carolina, the devastation, what the damage was, catastrophic, is beyond. And we all know what someone said that was not true yesterday. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. In a situation like this, as catastrophic it is, you're going to lie with a straight face in a situation like this? When the governor said something previous and you still came out afterwards and said it didn't happen? Come on now, please stop it. People are suffering. Don't politicize this. He should be ashamed of doing that. He should be ashamed. But the pass is always given. Always. They always give him a pass. Anything he does, he gets a pass. It's shameful. I'm sorry. Because people believe that shit. That's the part. That's the sad part. People believe in the nonsense that comes out of this person's mouth. The Kool-Aid drinkers believe everything. I don't understand it. But I'm not going there. Anyway, I don't even know if I want to go bike riding now because I think things might pop off. But they said after dark. It doesn't get dark till about 2 p.m. my time. Not even 1-ish. I could make this bike ride really fast right now. I'm going to do something. X, do you have my Facebook? Oh, you don't use Facebook. Maybe I'll do it on YouTube. I'll stream. I'm about to leave. I'm going to take care of some business. I'm about to leave, and I'm going to be streaming again on YouTube on the bike, but this is not going to be anything I've ever done before. This is going to be completely new. What I'm about to embark on. I need to go now, just in case things get crazy. Because I want to see what the heck is going on. No. Check out Facebook in about 15 minutes. I mean, not Facebook. Check out YouTube in about 15 minutes. I'll be back. But I'm going to do something on my bike I've never done before. And there's going to be a scary part. I'm going to take the bike and I'm going to leave directly from my house. And I'm going to go over the Beacon Bridge, which I heard is really scary. But I must try it because that's just me. I have to try it. So this is going to be scary. Then I'm coming right back, even if it's only a 10, 15-mile ride only. I'm still going to try it right now. So everybody have a great rest of your day. Be well, be blessed, be safe. I'm getting off so I can do this. I'll be back in a few minutes on YouTube only. Till then, peace out.